Hey everyone, it's Cherub Down, and have I got some news for you guys? Whole bunch of stuff has been going on the official forums, and there have been a couple more CMs adding on. CM stands for Content Management, I think, or something like that. Anyway, so there's Kyvax, which Kyvax has mentioned stuff on the forum before, and Zarhim, which is kind of newer. Last time he posted was about the beta. About updating your beta profile. Both of the guys are really cool. I mean, it's Blizzard, of course they're cool. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and get started with beta news. We're still looking good for third quarter, which is before the end of September. We're preparing ourselves for an extremely limited and extremely rough beta. The number of people let in will simply be dependent on the concurrency of active players. We want to keep it full basically at all times. And rough because we expect many issues as we're trying out a lot of new hardware and systems all at the same time. We'll get it ironed out before release, of course, but while most of our other games' tests have been seemingly releasable products, we're preparing for this one to be a true beta. So that's kind of cool. It looks like the beta will actually be pretty rough. So we'll actually be truly testing. Those who visited for the recent press tour saw the first minute or so of the intro cinematic, which is done in a stylized sketch look. The idea being it's Cain relating his prophecy via his journal. So it's sort of his journal come alive, if you will. It's also a lot cooler than it may sound, and on that note, the voice, music, sound effects were temp in the version we showed. The 10 intro class cinematics, one for each class and gender, take the same style, but beyond that, everything is in high detail, high realism, holy crap cinematics we've all come to love. And there's a lot of it, and they are so badass. You'll be happy. Bash goes on to say, like I said, they only saw the first minute or so of the entire intro scene, which was the stylized bit with Cain reciting some of his journal. You start up the game, see the intro for the first time, log in, create a character, see the character intro, then start playing. It's a logical flow. So someone asks him if the intro will be included in the beta, and he consulted with somebody and found out that no, it actually won't be in the beta, unfortunately. Someone remarks, I always skip Diablo 2 cinematic because I was online and didn't want to miss the next act rush or hold up the other players. Is there a way to replay them later? Indeed, but they're pretty info heavy. I wouldn't recommend skipping them. Personally, I'm going to play the game alone for the first run through. Normal. You can take your time, watch cinematics, and you can get the extra story from having a follower. Star, he paints a star into it. Info heavy, meaning huge spoilers, meaning I would avoid YouTube, forums, basically the world during your first playthrough once the game is released, if you want to avoid such things. Someone asks, if the boss you are fighting is at 5% HP, then you die and you get sent back to town, does the boss drop any loot for you as your team finishes the boss off without you, or does the proximity rule exclude you from the loot? The way it works now, if you are dead when a boss is killed, you will miss out on experience and loot. We want to make sure the design isn't such that it becomes a standard for high-level characters to carry low-level characters through content without risk of penalty should the lobby die. But there is a new resurrection method which allows other players in the party to click on a dead player's corpse to bring them back on the spot, rather than having them be sent back to town. We'll see how gameplay elements such as these play out in the beta test and adjust accordingly if necessary. It appears that the armor is actually quite simple. So someone on the forums asks, let's say a tier 10 chest piece gives 500 armor. Will a barbarian and a witch doctor benefit equally from it, i.e. they get the same amount of damage reduction from those 500 points? Zarm replies with, each class gets equal base benefit from armor value on items. However, there are passives and skills which could allow one class to benefit more from armor than other classes. For example, barbarians have a passive available to them called Toughest Nails, which increases the barbarian's armor by 100%, among other things. So one guy in the forum asks about fairness, and he asks, does playing solo give you the exact same chance at gold and magical items that playing with a group does? And of course it's exactly the same. And my gold, magic, and or magic find gear has no effect on anyone else in the party? Correct. Each person affects their own drops that they see on the ground, basically. So why should we bother even playing in a group? Well, because your kill rate goes up. The more people you have, it's just going to happen. Despite the difficulty increase, you simply kill stuff way faster in a group. More drops per hour means you want to be in a group. So that concludes our Diablo Daily. A couple words about this Diablo thing first, though. I don't know if I'll be able to do this news all the time, but if I do get some time, I'll definitely try to give you guys the news that I like. This was a lot of news that I particularly like because it's talking about Magic Find and cinematic trailers, and everything up to the beta is basically, stuff I'm interested in. So if I find something that's interesting to me, I will definitely do more of these. So yeah, see y'all tomorrow.